Greetings to everyone watching right now or listening. I appreciate everyone on this call. Thank you so much. We will start this session in a bit. Okay, thank you everyone for joining the call. Thank you for everyone listening right now and those who will listen later on. Thank you so much. I appreciate everyone. So today we'll be looking at positivity in the workplace. Positivity in the workplace. First of all, we need to look at what is a workplace. What comes to our mind when we think of what a workplace is? I'll just give my own definition of a workplace. So, a workplace is a power generation center. A workplace is a power generation center. I'll take it further. A workplace is a situation where dreams are created, not the word created. A workplace is not just a place where you conceive dreams. The major work to do at a workplace is to create dreams. So, a workplace is a situation where dreams conceived are created. A workplace is a place where potential energy are actualized. A workplace is a situation where a challenge is taken up and the solution for the challenge is bettered. When you're outside the workplace, people might be talking of challenge. But when you enter into a workplace, what is done is such a challenge is looked into and solutions for such a challenge is what? Bettered. A workplace is a place of shifts where I can't becomes I can. When you go outside of a workplace, you can be hearing, yeah, this cannot be done, this cannot be done. But when you enter into a workspace, I can't becomes I can. It's a place of positivity. It's a place where the language, the thought, the attitude, the reactions of people there are tells towards positivity. There's nothing like this cannot be done. There's nothing like impossibility in a workspace. Everything perceived, everything experienced in a workspace is possibility. It can be done. It can be done. It can be done. That's a workspace. Let's move forward. So let's go to the concept of what we have today, the topic. So, what do we mean by positivity in the workspace, in a workplace, either workspace or workplace? What do we mean by positivity in a workplace? Positivity in the work environment is simply keeping the right attitude, thereby saying what you want instead of what you do not want as a result of what you see or hear. I'll take it again. Positivity in the work environment is simply keeping the right attitude. Thereby, you are saying what you want instead of what you see as a result of what you see. I'll take it again. Positivity in the work environment is simply keeping the right attitude. Thereby, you are saying what you want instead of what you do not want as a result of what you see. Let me give a brief explanation of that. For instance, you have a superior at work, and the superior came to your desk and gave you a task to do, and said, he or she said to you, uh, Simbi, please, can you do this task in the next 1 hour? I'm expecting the result. Now, by the time you see the task, what you see or what you saw, whichever one, what you see was a task for 2 hours, not a task for 1 hour, just as your superior has said. But what you saw was a task for 2 hours. Now, instead of you saying, sir or ma, I cannot get this done in an hour, what positivity instead says to you is, instead of you saying I cannot get it done in an hour, rather say, sir, ma, can you avail me 2 hours to get this task done? You saw a task of 2 hours. What the negative mindset will say is, I cannot get it done in an hour. But positive will say, no, don't say that. That's not what you want. Because not getting it done is not what you want. What you want is you want to get it done. So instead of you saying, I cannot get it done in an hour's time, other request, sir, ma, can you avail me an additional 1 hour, making it 2 hours to get this task done? That is simply positivity, saying what you want instead of what you do not want. I'll give another example. Probably you are a superior at work, you have a subordinate that always comes late to work. And there's this particular day you just need to comfort the subordinate. I say, Ali, why is it that you always come late to work? Why do you always come to work? You know, you are not interested in seeing Ali coming to work. That is not what you want. What you want is Ali should come early to work. So instead of you saying, Ali, why do you not come late to work? Why do you like coming late to work? What I say to Ali, Ali, I have noticed you're having difficulty making it to work on time. What can we do? How can it be solved? That is what you want. So instead of you just wasting the time and energies yelling at Ali, why are you not coming early to work? No, that's not what you want. You want to see an Ali that comes early to work. That is what you want. Say that instead of saying what you do not want. Instead of saying, I am tired. I'll give more example. I'm giving more example now. Instead of saying, I'm tired, why don't you just say, I need a rest? That is better. You got a task. Instead of saying, I do not understand this task, why don't you rather say, I need clarification on this task? That sounds better. Or you go somewhere and you wanted to buy something and you heard the price and you say, instead of you saying, I cannot afford to buy this thing because it is too expensive, why don't you rather say, I cannot I'm not buying this stuff because it's not as beneficial as I had thought of. Don't use the word cannot. You rather tell them, I'm not buying it because it's not as beneficial as I thought. Instead of you saying, I cannot afford it because it's too expensive. No, that's negative. You don't say that. As I said, I'm not buying it because it's not as beneficial as I thought of. That's fine. Another thing you can say, instead of saying this is a problem, why don't you say this is a challenge? Positive. Positivity in the workplace. And why are we saying this? Why do we say this instead of saying this? The fact is, you might be a person that cannot afford something today because it is expensive. But tomorrow you can be a person that will be in a position that you can afford whatsoever thing you desire. Today you might be a person that is weak, but tomorrow you can be the strongest of all in the room. Today you might be a person that doesn't understand something today, But tomorrow you might be a person that is the most knowledgeable on the subject matter in the room. Worse, it is very easy to undo what you see than to undo what you see. I'll take it again. It is easier to undo what you see than to undo what you see. What you always be remembered with when all things is gone and all is gone is what you see, is your word. When there is nothing left to trace you with, what will be the only thing that will be used to trace you is what you have uttered from your mouth. Positivity is a key for productivity, not just in one's life, even in an enterprise life. We move forward. I just have a short note here. Positivity doesn't mean that you keep your head in the sand and ignore life's pleasant situation. No, we are not saying that. Positivity is not a denial of what you feel. We are not saying that. But positivity just means that you approach life, you approach the unpleasantness in life in a more positive and productive way. You think the best is going to happen, not the worst. How do I live a positive filled life? How do I live a positive filled life? First of all, let me start by saying this. Every human is created with 100% positive mindset. Every human on earth, as far as you are a human on earth and you believe you are created, we are all created with a mindset that is 100% positive. We are all given birth to with a mindset that is gauged at 100% positivity. How do I know this? Can you imagine a little child? Have you ever seen any child that he or she is not happy with what he or she designed, right? Even if what he or she has designed is not that impressive to an adult, but you see the child with glamour on his face, happy that mom see what I do. A child does not believe, does not have any room for negativity, does not even know if negativity exists or not. You see a child not caring what the net worth of his dad or his mom is, just approach, dad, I want to buy that thing. He doesn't know if his father can afford it or not. All he just knows is, I love this thing and I'm going to get it. I'm going to tell my dad, I'm going to tell my mom, and either of them will get it for me. Doesn't know if the parent both have the resources to get it or not. All the child knows is that I can't get whatsoever I desire. That's what the child knows. So we all feel with positivity. We all created birth with a positive, 100% positive mindset at birth. But as we grow, we allow issues of life to reconstruct our mindset. Some are lucky, they could still take 50% of positivity, get themselves in 50% of positivity. Some, they allow life to deal with them to a certain extent. There's no form of positivity within them. All is negative. And some were so disciplined enough that at least they could still get at least 90% of positive. Some 100%, some we claim 100%. We allow life, what I'm saying, as we go, we allow life situation to reconstruct the definition of our mind in terms of positivity. But one thing we do not realize is that just as we are given a mind of 100% positivity, we are also given the responsibility to nurture such heart. Just as we have our body very fresh at our birth, and we have the responsibility of taking care of the body as we go. The way your body will be in the next 20 years will be determined by how you are taking care of it today. The way we have that responsibility of taking care of our body is the same way we have the responsibility of nurturing our mind. One of the holy books said, guide your heart with all diligence, for out of it comes the issue of life. Remember that word, note that word. Guide your heart. Action word, guide. That is, there's a work you must do. That is a work. So while we are going on, we don't we are not mindful of the fact that we are not just giving a heart, we are giving a heart to nurture. We're giving an 100% positive mindset at birth. We have the responsibility of nurturing such a mindset as we go. That's one of the things we omitted. So that's one of the things. Having not doing that brought in negativity to some losing it all, some still have some level of positivity, but that's not what we ought to be. We ought to still remain 100% positive at all times. So, how do I live a positive life? I will just share some brief points on how to live a positive life. There are many keys, many things to do to be positive. I'm going just I'm going to just share four with us. My first point is identify the areas of your life that you are always negative about. Identify such area. It could be a relationship that in that relation all you just think of is negative. It could be work. When you get to work, all you just think is negative. It could be family. It could be anything you know that occupies, takes about more than 70%. You concentrate negativity on more than 70%. Just look at such a thing. Look at it. Look at such a thing. Then once you identify such an area, then approach it. Say to yourself, how can I be positive in this? What does it take for me to be positive in the relationship? Look at it. Once you identify such an area, examine what it takes you to be positive in it. If it is work, examine what it takes you to be positive in it. If it is family, examine what it takes you to be positive in it. That's the first thing. First, examine your life. Where does negativity comes to you from? Look at it. Then we strategize. How can I be positive in this aspect? Sometimes you don't need to delete something before you can explain positive. Just look at how can I be positive? If it's a family, of course, you cannot delete your family. You cannot take them out. You just need to reconfigure your mindset about it again. How can I be positive? Irrespective of whatsoever might happen or might be happening, how can I be positive? First thing we need to do. Second thing, practice a positive self-talk. What do I mean by this? Whenever a negativity thought comes to your mind, a negative thought enters into your mind, evaluate it and respond to it with affirmations. Whenever, before you see anything, before you open your mouth to say anything, evaluate what you want to say. If it's a negative thought that comes, convert it. to positive thought. Practice positive self talk. Speak to yourself all the time. Say good things to yourself. Don't just utter anything out of your mouth. Just say something. Don't just say anything. Say something positive. Practice self talk. Third one, celebrate your little success. You might be running at a big dream, and maybe probably you stumble. Don't feel bad. For every success you for every failure you've had or you experience, there are thousands of success you had in the past. Whenever you are down about any form of failure, think of the successes you've had in the past. Let that encourage you. If you have anything big you are pursuing, break it down. I mean, look at God. He could he could he could create everything in the world in a day. He can't do that. But the Holy Book made us to know that. One of the Holy Book made us to know that he break everything to 7 days. The first day, he designed what he wanted. And after the end of the design, he said, this is good. He closed for the day. Move to the second day. He looked at what he created again. After the end of the creation, he said, this is good. He looked at he was celebrating his little success. So if you have a big something that you are pursuing, look at it, break it down into pieces and take it. Even if you stumble at anything, stumble at anything, don't be down. Look at what you've achieved in the past. Rejoice about it. Let her give you motivation to move you forward. The fourth, be grateful. Gratitude. You know, I've never seen a grateful man who end up as a failure. No. Every man that I've seen an act of gratefulness in their life, they are men of success. It doesn't matter how many times you fall. As far as you are optimistic and you are grateful, you will rise, you will overcome. One of the key power to positivity is gratitude. In fact, I might not discuss any other point of positivity, any other way to be positive. If just gratitude alone you have, you are on your path to 100% positivity. I'm going to explain this point with a story I read from an author. Read. A writer was in his study room. He picked up his pen and started writing. Last year, I had a surgery and my gallbladder was removed. I had to stay stuck to the bed due to this surgery for a long time. He writes again. The same year, I reached the age of 60 years and I had to give up on my favorite job in the publishing company in which I had spent 30 years of my life. He continued writing. The same year, I experienced the sorrow of the death of my father. He continued writing. And in the same year, my son failed his medical exams. because he had a car accident. He had to stay in bed at hospital with the cars on for several days. The destruction of car was another loss. And he wrote, alas, it was such a bad year. Unknowing to him, his wife was standing at the back, looking at what he's writing. And silently, after the man was done writing, silently, the wife went out of the room, picked a paper, and wrote something out and brought it to the husband home. And up on the same desk, the husband had the initial writing. And what she wrote with us. Last year, I finally got rid of my bladder, due to which I had spent years in pain. She continued. Last year, I turned 60 with sound health and got retired from my job. Now, I can utilize my time to write something better with more focus and peace. The same year, my father, at the age of 95, without depending on anyone or with any critical condition, met his creator. The same year, God blessed my son with a new life. My car was destroyed, but my son stayed alive without getting any disability. At the end, she wrote, last year was an immense blessing of God and it passed well. I will say something. The same incident, but different viewpoints, different perspectives. In our daily lives, we must see that it is not happiness that makes us grateful, but gratitude makes us happy. There's always, always, always something to be thankful for. We should always remember that our current position is somebody's future expectation, and our life today is somebody's prayer request. Never be bitter at yourself because of somebody saying to be better than you. Never. It's a strategy for ingratitude. But always remember that anything you celebrate multiplies, and anything you despise diminishes. Appreciation is a vehicle for acceleration. Gratitude is a lift to great altitude. To see what God will do, you must acknowledge what God has done. In conclusion, if what you saw is not what you see, know that what you see is temporal. Positivity is saying what you want instead of what you see. Thank you everyone for joining. I will see you again next week. Same time, same channel. Thank you. Thank you.